So, Madam Speaker, we stand a risk of slipping through the revolution as the world is moving towards artificial intelligence. So we need accurate data, Madam Speaker, that would inform how we plan for climate change. But most importantly, even for checking weather. Madam Speaker, we had a false announcement by the Meteorological Department talking about El Nino, an El Nino that was never to be. But with data, Madam Speaker, we are able to not go into such embarrassments. Madam Speaker, there is a case to be made for adaptation planning. Climate change is happening. How are we adapting? Madam Speaker, if we are not onboarding technology like the satellite-based climate monitoring and AI, we shall be victims to this climate change, because it is a great scientist in the name of Louis Leakey, who told us that the species that survive are not the strongest or the fastest. It is the species that adapts best. Sorry, it wasn't Louis Leakey. That must have been Charles Darwin speaking about adaptation. Madam Speaker, there is also early warning systems. This is a benefit that would accrue from adopting the development of a satellite-based climate change monitoring policy. Madam Speaker, the changes that are happening are also putting communities to become extremely vulnerable. They are being exposed to risks in this climate change. But with such technology, Madam Speaker, we are able to very quickly have some early warning signs system. Madam Speaker, we are a country that prides itself as being one of the greenest countries in the world. But Madam Speaker, we are losing our forest cover. And when we are trying to replant trees, Madam Speaker, we are being informed by science that we could be running the risks of overplanting in the wrong places, Madam Speaker. There is biodiversity of ecosystems. For example, Madam Speaker, in our drive towards tree planting, if we want to try plant the 15 billion trees that we're talking about, we ought to be extremely careful where we are planting these trees. There are places that God made to become savannas, grasslands. If we go and plant trees in such places, we shall be killing entire biodiversities, entire habitats. So, Madam Speaker, there is a case to be made on about how we manage our resources using technology. The water in this country, the forest, the wildlife, the habitats, the marine biodiversity, and all this would best be informed by application of science, technology, and even emerging fields like artificial intelligence. Finally, Madam Speaker, in policy formulation, what information are we using when we are formulating policy in this country? Satellite-based climate change monitoring that is powered by artificial intelligence will help in informing policy, so that we are not borrowing policy from advanced countries in places that are totally different from our country to benefit from useful technology. Madam Speaker, it would be good to apply what we would call appropriate technology even in climate change monitoring. Madam Speaker, I think there is also a place for international collaboration. If Kenya goes in the way of a satellite-based climate change monitoring, we are able to partner very well with other jurisdictions, other countries, other developers who are going ahead of us or at par with us. Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member made the point about Taifa being launched. That was a collaborative effort. This is a collaborative effort that can be taken way further, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, I would never finish without going back to where we started. That we are in a new world. It is the fourth industrial revolution. What data is Africa presenting as systems start learning how to simulate human intelligence? Do we have the data to present out there, or are we going to end up being digital plantations, condemned to the plight that we had in the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third industrial revolution, and here we are now in the fourth industrial revolution? We might end up becoming digital plantations, akin to the plantations of sugar, akin to the plantations of cotton, akin to the colonial villages that we have.